We really do got to record.
We're trying to fix this difficulty here.
It's Bob's fault.
It's not my fault. Everybody put up banners or something.
It's Kalanji's fault.
I got to figure out how to come out of these. But yeah, we're blaming on Kalanji.
Yeah, it's always Kalanji.
Yeah, we should blame Kalanji. We ain't gonna do that because we may have to call him in a minute.
He's not watching.
Now, how do we get rid of this thing here? So, it's supposed to be brand, and then we get rid of it in screen, I think. All right, hold on a second, y'all. I know you can hear us. There we go. Hey, we'll figure it out. I don't know why, Jared in the corner right there.
That's creepy.
I guess he said he's gonna be part of the show too.
He's lurking.
Right. Sure.
Is it something
I said, Jared, you gotta leave here. I mix what I like. He just said, you ain't going nowhere. Now this, how do I get rid of this part? This piece.
Yeah, that should be how you remove his face off of there.
Man, you about to make me.
There you go.
Oh no,
Remove brand.
Oh shit.
Not delete, but remove. I think
that says rename.
Oh
no, I ain't fucking with that. Jared to be with us today, but they're blocking your face.
Yeah,
I mean, my uncle says do something to hide your ugly, but I don't think that's what he meant.
Okay, yeah. There we go. Oh, but it's gonna hell no. Okay, we're just gonna work it with this.
Boom, what about that right there?
Okay. Hey, still got a BPM, but hey, it's cool.
Yeah, I'll take the BPM unless you want to try to move that one too. Oh, that one too. Okay, you can click down and move that one too.
Hold on, y'all.
So
stick with us. Stick with us.
At the top.
What's at the top? That's Warrior Class.
You just click it and then that'll go away.
No, sir.
Smart. Smart.
It ain't that easy. I wish, but okay. So we got BPM up. It's cool. It's cool. We got to figure something out here.
Family.
Greetings. Welcome to Warrior Class.
Where the teachers will pass.
And you will too if you pass.
All right now.
And welcome to these hands that can't get rid of that brand. But we'll figure it out if we can. All right. So like that. Hey, I still got balls. Hey, there you go. This is episode 30. I'll probably put this coat on in a minute. It feels like I'm in Alaska again. But this is episode 30.
We've been getting up there in these.
Yeah, we're getting up there. We stopped counting, but 30 is a milestone. So hey,
thanks for the like. Please, everyone watching, please hit the like button.
Yeah, please do. We got to remove this so we can see the chat.
No.
Oh, we go here. Just like that. Boom! Look at that. Apprentice. Welcome. Yep, you first in the chat.
First in flight.
All right. Episode 30, we're dealing with kicking it with the Warriors. Not just chilling, but kicking it as in kicks. Peace, Melon and Rich Nate.
Double entendres that Baba is so well known.
Hey, once again, bars. Hashtag bars. So we're gonna be peace, Nyambi. We're gonna be oh snap, yeah. We're gonna be dealing with kicks. In every martial art, you have kicks. So it must be pretty important. It must be effective, right? If every martial art is doing it, well, probably 80% of martial arts do a headbutt like this, which is absolutely wrong. I won't say wrong, it's dangerous because you can mess somebody up hitting them with this, but this here, your skin cuts easily. So when it cuts, the blood's coming down, it gets in your eye, you're blinded, and you're probably going to get yourself hurt. So for that nice headbutt, you end up getting your ass whooped.
It's not efficient.
It's not efficient. It's efficient to hit with this side of your head, right? So just because everybody does it doesn't mean it's right. It's been said that I believe it's 50% of the world has eaten McDonald's. 50%.
Wow.
7.1 billion people in the world. So
90% of black women in Atlanta wear fake lashes.
That too. Well,
right.
I don't know now if the fake lashes, if the fake lashes are small.
Oh yeah,
that's
cool.
I'm talking about the snuffleupagus.
Man, well, my daughter was in class with those doggone snuffleupagus lashes, and I said we working on chokes. I said I'm gonna put one on you that's so hard your eyelashes gonna you'll shoot up. So just because everybody's doing something doesn't mean it's right or the proper thing to do.
A lot of times it means that it's wrong.
Yeah,
the masses are doing it. It's usually not.
A lot of stuff comes down to marketing. There was a big video of this white man showing this white girl how to get out of a choke, and it was terrible. And usually I don't say nothing, but I was like, man, this is really gonna get people jammed up because I saw so many folks liking it that I had to do an anatomy of a choke to break that foolishness.
You know, it's a great example of marketing and BS at the same time would be like we saw it when we went to up there in South Carolina, would be the nunchucks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's excellent marketing. Like they basically made up a weapon on you know what I'm saying, for Bruce Lee just to pull out.
So it could look cool.
Right. And it doesn't have really
nunchucks comes from Okinawa and the Filipinos do use this. It's really for rice thrashing.
Exactly. Isn't that what
and so you can pick up anything and use it as a tool. Right.
Definitely.
But it was not popular until Bruce Lee used it.
You said it's handcuffs too, right?
Yeah, they use it.
Yeah, they use it. Well, see, they don't swing it when they use it. When the concept was to trap your arms with the chain,
right,
and to strike with the sticks like that, right? It was not green sunlight. It was not to woo. It wasn't that, right?
When the rubber ones came out, boy, I swear.
But Bruce made him popular now in Enter the Dragon, but also there was now Bruce his genius was not in doing martial arts. His genius was in taking the martial arts and making that shit cinematic,
yes,
and hot. So Kung Fu, rarely do they make a sound. They don't do ki-eyes like karate.
Right.
He didn't want to do the ki-eye like some of the Kung Fu moves go. They need some sound.
Right.
That kind of stuff. He created that.
Right.
That doesn't exist in any martial art.
Right.
He created it, and if somebody does it, the world knows exactly where that comes from.
Right.
That's the only reason schools don't do it. Even with when you hit the dude with the stick, the pole in the legs and do breakdown, woo, hits him. That's just to sell the sound because they didn't have the sound effects they have now.
He used to be around a lot of brothers. He probably got that from
I'm sure somebody woo, baby.
That sounds
woo.
like something.
I mean, all this.
Right.
You know, it came from us. But his first student was black, Jesse Glover. People say, what's the actor's name? They be like, Danny Glover. I said, no, Jesse Glover.
His daddy.
not Danny Glover. That'd be hilarious. But Jesse Glover, may he rest in power. All right, so
Bukiki and James.
Bukiki Muzas, James Thompson, karate chop, chop, chop. Yeah, karate kick. Right. We're gonna deal with
hit the likes, please.
The
share,
kids.
Please share. Hit the likes, ladies and
please do. Like, share, subscribe.
Donate.
Tell your friends. Yeah, donate to I don't know where. That's the going thing. Hey,
put my cash up there.
Yeah, we all just put our cash apps up. And hey, you decide.
I'm about to put my daughter popcorn thing up there for real.
It's good popcorn. It is.
It's making mockery of Chi-Town popcorn.
Right.
But hey, it's good.
You know, ain't nobody doing gourmet popcorn for real.
You know, so Chicago popcorn, if you didn't know, is cheese and caramel, and
together.
Oh yeah. So now people say that, and it's a girl who I used to work with, and she called me. She said, "I'm in Chicago visiting family. Do you want me to bring back some of the popcorn?" I said, yeah, I pay you when you get back. There wasn't no Cash App in those days. This was 20 years ago.
Right.
And 22 years ago. So she says, no, it's my gift to you for being such a great teacher. I was not her teacher. She just admired what I did.
Damn,
so
you good. You that good. Hey, watching you.
So she bought home she bought me the big bag. I'm like, oh, no, not the stuff. It's a big paper bag. I'm like, from Garrett's popcorn. I'm not. They don't pay me, but man, it's great. So they paying. I bought this thing to work. We had this retreat, and so I bought it on the retreat. And people were like, ugh, caramel and cheese together. And so I said, well, just try a little bit. I put it on this one brother. He's a famous performing artist. I won't say his name. I put he wasn't famous then. I put the cheese and caramel on the napkin. He said, well, I tried, but he said, oh shit, can I get some more? He said, oh shit, can I get some more? And so everybody loves it. Maybe it's just me, but this show is the most practical of all the shows because it's the most hands-on. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
And peace, Father Badger, but this ain't no dojo.
Yeah, I'm gonna glad you said practical. Today I'm gonna be showing the spinning whip kick to the head.
Very practical kick. Do it Baba does it all the time.
All the time. What I do is I put my hands on their heads as I just spin around and kick. So thank you for calling it practical. No, we're about to get to it now.
I was gonna say about the popcorn. It's so good. Like I'm originally from Chicago, and my mother took me there for my birthday. Like it was a big deal. I mean, it is the best popcorn ever.
If you go to Chicago, the way you know that you found Garrett's, it's probably going to, if you go like at 3-4 o'clock, it's probably going to be a 2-block line around the block.
Slutty vegan line up in there.
Oh, this original slutty vegan, but it wasn't no sluts in there. Unless my cousin Joe went in there, they was sluts. All right.
Salute Black Power.
Is that Kalanji?
Siapu salute, comrades. I'm sure that's Kalanji.
We was not talking about you before the show started.
We were talking about you.
It's not. I don't want to kill nobody. Tell you. Don't let nobody.
He probably heard it. That's why he jumped in. But there may be as many in black. There could be Jared because Jared he might be on here because we moved his picture.
He
coming in the house.
We mean to.
Identify yourself, Black Power Media.
So we're going to be kicking it with the Warriors. Want to ask some questions to you if you're familiar with kids. Oh, Kalanji, hey, wouldn't expect anything less. Hey, please, comrade.
Can I get news real quick?
Oh, damn. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, we got news first.
So just a few things I saw. This is just surfing through social media. One thing, since we're talking about kicks, there was a video sent to me where a guy, he couldn't have been in America because the police didn't pull out pistols and shoot him. They had sticks, but this guy was being surrounded by 7 police officers, and he started to move the capital. I don't know what they call Jenga type movement. So he started doing
was
that.
He black?
He was black. He was black. And I almost want to say he was African just by the look of African, but from the continent, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I think they might have been in Africa somewhere. But it was really maybe South America. Maybe. The cops were mixed. I think it was, I think they were white. I think they were all white.
That wasn't Africa.
Yeah. So what happened is,
not even South Africa.
They was trying to surround them, and we might put that video up when we get a chance. They were surrounding him, and he started doing the Jenga movement, and they kind of was like, worried approaching him. So when the first cop, it was one cop really dealing with him, the rest was trying to close in. So when the cop got close, he went down and tried to sweep him, doing the
brother tried to
with the breakdancing sweep. You know what I'm talking about? How you know what I'm talking about when you do the leg sweep?
Well, it's called, I think it's called Habajahai in capoeira.
I don't know capoeira. My brother's capoeira instructor. If you watching, I'm sorry, but this is the breakdancing sweep because that's how we did in break. I used to break. You know what I mean? So he did that type of sweep, and it didn't work, but it threw the guy off. He backed up a little bit, and so he went from that and then tried to do the backwards kick where you put both hands on the ground and you kick like almost like a mule kick with one foot. When he did that,
Chopper. It's called Chopper, I think. I
I
probably got it all wrong. Sorry, copyright.
When he did that kick, every police officer instinctively rushed him and tried to kick his hands.
Oh, they had some sense.
Immediately when he did that, they rushed and you saw the cops kick at it, but he got up fast and started backtracking really, really fast. And then when they got around, the video stops.
And that's weakness if he had to start going backwards. So.
Yeah, that certainly is.
Because he wasn't using any barriers or anything like that. But they just knew instinctively. As soon as he put both of them hands, they went to go kick at him.
But
so,
you know what's funny about that? The way I saw it before you said, I was about to laugh when you said you started jinging. I thought the police started jinging.
I don't know why that's funny, but that would have been funny. Oh, we got you. Well, we got you. So I thought that was interesting that somebody sent that before this show was even announced. I got that like 3 days before from Pam. Pam, I appreciate that. Yeah, and another video from Pam that she sent was a woman. I don't know if you saw this. A woman was just in a regular bodega somewhere that with her pistol showing in her back. Something if you've been watching the show, we talk about that. Just sticking your pistol in your back like that. And the dude just chilling right behind her, maybe about 3 people distance.
He probably wasn't even thinking of it.
Right.
He saw it.
He's looking at right. You can see he saw it like, oh, so he kind of while she at the counter and just politely whoop. And she turned around and he just rushed her. Yep.
He didn't give her a chance to fight for a gun. He just took her down and then walked out of there.
And walked, not run. He walked because what you gonna do? I got a pistol now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that could have happened to a man. It's not that that was a woman, it's that she didn't have her. First of all, some people think it's a good thing to have your tool visible so people could see it because you feel like
it's a deterrent.
Right. That's it. If anybody got some training, that's not a deterrent. And it even tells a person that what they have to do.
It's telegraphing.
Right. Now I know what I got to do now. You know what I'm saying? I know where and I know exactly what I got to do. So you become a target.
I was on the bus and it was a little Asian dude, Filipino, obviously. And I say obviously because Filipino martial arts, when I tell a story, you understand. And unfortunately, it was a brother kept messing with the dude. Little muck, little short, slang eye, motherfucker, doing all. I'm like, why is he doing this? Normally we don't do folks like that, but he was. And people were like, oh man, what's going on? Why is brother doing this Chinese like that? And saying Chinese.
Right.
He'd have been better off if the dude had been Chinese, to be honest. If the dude had done Chinese martial arts, he probably would have just been kung fuing.
Right.
He kept on messing, and the dude's stop came. The Asian dude stopped. He said, please, excuse me, can I get off? I said, man, get around me, little motherfucker. And the dude slit his throat and walked off the bus. And the bus driver, people were like, hey, close the bus. The bus driver was too scared. Like he let that man off the bus. He walked off. Now, I don't advocate no brother getting his throat slit, but watch who you mess with in this world, because you never know. People look at me sometime and they be like, this old dude, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And they make certain assumptions. And those assumptions can get you hurt. You picked with the wrong man. I was walking downtown Atlanta, dude walking behind me. He gets awful close. I stop and turn and get behind him. He turn around and look. And the first thing he says is, you must be from Chicago. I said, you must be too, to say that. And he said, yeah. He said, I moved down here to pick these country folk. Now, that's some stereotypical, because there's some country folk who will kill you.
But you hear that all. That's what you hear, especially
because they think people are dumb. Right. In fact, I did a post, y'all, and we're about to get to it after. I did a post once and said, people assume, using Bama and all that, calling people dumb. Bama as in Alabama.
Right.
Like Southern people are dumb. The smartest person I ever had met in my life was this girl named Sammy at Howard. And Casey
Cofield.
You're close. This girl named Sammy. She was from Texas, I believe. And countries, woo, loud. She was that stereotypical loud country. This girl's a freshman at Howard doing Calculus 3. She could talk about any subject you bring up, and she knew it well. The way we got friends, somebody was talking about martial arts, she's talking about it. And I said, well, you're just talking. I do. And so we got into the conversation. But I tell you, she had done a lot of studying, so she knew a lot about this. And she wanted to train with me. I wasn't teaching people at the time. I was down there training myself all the time, right? And if she had learned from me, she probably end up knowing more as able to talk about mechanics of the body and all that than I ever could. She was brilliant. So I said, I made that post, and people in the post like, folks from the South saying, or people who got some sense, and it was people from the North still like, well, those that I know are dumb and all that shit. That stereotype is so strong, man. I'm like, I know dumb folk everywhere. I've been all over.
When I went to New York, Bob, I'm in the Bronx. This is the 90s. I swear to you, the dudes was around me. Once they got comfortable by the end of the day, they said, man, let me ask you, man. I heard, man, all you got to do to get a girl in down south, man, is run around drive around with a bucket of chicken and some grape soda. And he was dead serious. You could tell that he really wanted to know. The people had told him that.
Now, it's something about that grape soda thing. It's really, not saying that, that's work for me. No. Because I spoke to my young students when he first came here from England. And one of the students said, I got a question. They're asking different things that, about England. He says, people from England, do y'all eat, they said, black people from England, do y'all eat French fries and drink grape soda? Something about the grapes. I said, that's a random question.
Random as
hell. I'm like, well, I know they eat French fries. We all know. So he said, well, yeah, we love potatoes. So we eat French fries. But we call them chips. And somebody said, what'd you call chips? So that ended up interesting. He said, we call chips crisp. I said, what do y'all call cookies? Because I know he said, those are biscuits. People, what? Man, biscuits are so-and-so.
Right.
He said, we call those cakes. So it was a great conversation. It led to but that was the most random thing. Some of the grape soda, like grape soda is something like just fancy and, only Americans really can jack with it.
Dr. Amos is from Mississippi.
Dr. Amos Wilson is from,
Did you find that from my post? Was that my post?
Yeah, I did. I found it.
Yeah, Dr. Amos Wilson.
James Thompson, yes. I originally am from Chicago. I went to St. Sabina.
What?
Yeah, with Father Flager.
Yeah.
So
Father Flager, kind of touch your back like this.
Father Flager.
Yeah.
Father Flager.
Yeah, he touch your back like that, and lift the cheek and all that. Yeah, Father Flager's ass. I don't trust him, boy. Now, Farrakhan, said he loves him, and when I was part of a certain group, I was thinking like, I don't. No.
Moral of the story is, do not underestimate anyone out there.
No matter
you don't know who got what, who do what, and what's on their mind. I'll even go one step further, man. Sometimes I would say treat people like it might be their worst day. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking to somebody, because you never know where they at. You know what I'm saying? Right here. You know what I'm saying? So you always got to think about that when you're approaching somebody.
I told y'all the dude on the bus talking about grits. He was from Chicago. Said, me, from Chicago, we don't be eating grits like that, which is true. And he was like, I didn't eat many grits.
Oh,
if you ever had grits, you realize how foolish you sound.
And well, he was like, eating grits. Y'all country niggas, grits. And a brother on the bus said, say something about grits one more time. It really wasn't about grits. He's really He said, say something about grits one more time. We gonna whoop your ass. And dude said, anybody, I had a book with me. Anybody from Chicago on here can back me up? I'm reading that book like, hell, I don't know nobody from Chicago. Like shit. I just moved down here, and I said, this dude a fool.
Right, we're gonna fight over grits.
Somebody said, oh, he was ignorant. Absolutely. Even the grits were nasty. You don't be doing that. We had grits in Chicago. We only really, where I'm from, on the west side, we would only eat grits. I don't know if it's a west side thing, probably south side too, on special occasions. Like you get some family members from the south coming, my mother would throw, because my mother from Mississippi. Right. Yazoo, she would throw down on the grits, and that was something special to us. Like, woo, boy, we eating the grits, right? When I came down here, goddamn, everybody eating grits every day. Dinner, grits. So I said, damn, I remember, grits tasted all right. And then I had this brother who's from Chicago, but had been living here longer than me. He said, I'm gonna cook you some grits the way they do the grits here. And I said, oh shit. I've been missing out.
I said, damn cream of wheat.
Right. No, I ain't say no damn cream of wheat now.
I've never had
cream of wheat, you put sugar in.
I'll see you.
If you put sugar in your grits,
don't
let me see you.
Don't start that, Bob.
Don't let me see you. No, I know that's a whole. I love sugar in my grits.
That's a big thing. Some people.
Do you want another post I put? Do you like sugar or savory grits? And people, it was a war going on.
People grits and gravy.
Grits and gravy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, only when you got shrimp and grits, then you put the gravy with it. Anyway, okay, now we.
Okay. Yeah, that's good away from that. And I'm hungry too. So.
Oh, peace to Spider-Man. Didn't see you.
Peace, Stephanie said, I had never had grits until I moved to the South from the Midwest, KCMO.
It's like the first time I had fish and grits, I was in New York.
And really?
Good man.
So
you were in Harlem.
I was in the Bronx. My uncle made it for me.
Oh, okay. That's why I was like, I put sugar and butter in my grits. I mean, it's okay if you're going to do it, but
I see you on the street, the Spider-Man.
I was raised on cream of wheat. Yeah, I was too now. Well, I tell you, in my day, unfortunately, my mother didn't breastfeed. Doctor told her, I don't want to, please, if my siblings are watching, don't tell mama. They said her nipples were too small. This is the lies that doctors would tell. And so she was like, I can't do it, right? So none my sisters, so I drank goddamn goat milk.
Wow.
She knew I ain't giving my baby cow milk. I'm giving them the best. I'm giving them goat milk. That's why I got horns growing right here. All right, so that's the stuff they would do to us, and then people wonder why I don't trust the medical industry.
Right.
Oh man!
If there was a concerted effort at one time to change women from having their babies with midwives and going the natural route to actually sending them to doctors, you can find advertisements where they have like old, kind of stereotypical Southern looking Black women. And it says something like, do you want someone like this to bring your child into the world? Or they would have like one of those, it's funny, the stuff with the Ukraine, they would have like one of those kind of Russian looking women with the scarf tied on their head. Like there was an advertising campaign to move away from.
Because it's about money.
Right. It's all about money.
We now the medical industry makes money. Now in South Carolina, I just came back from South Carolina for my birthday, right? And we went on the Gullah tour. I got some hope because now it was sad. I was depressed after the tour from all that. I thought white folk just took from the Gullah. The Gullah sold away their property, so they're losing their culture. Of course, there are more Gullah in Savannah than in South Carolina. If I had known that, I was at Hilton Head, right? And so one thing that was hopeful though, the guy that's talking about the people are that was the medicine man right there. And so people like, oh cool. He said, yeah, he would go right. You get sick, you go to him, go right in the back, he get the herbs, he heal you. He said, but now we got the hospital, I'd rather go to the hospital than that old medicine man. And people like, what? He said, yeah, I trust science more. What made me hope was all these Black people on the bus were like, I don't know about that one.
Thank you.
I trust the medicine man more.
Made me feel better too.
I trust the medicine man. I was like, wow, this is a great sign. People like, oh no, hell no.
Speaks to the kind of people who would kind of person that would
Go on that
tour
trip.
like
Yeah, that's
that.
true.
Yeah.
You know, so
Point.
you know, and he was trying to, you know, y'all don't trust the science more? No, man, we haven't fallen
You know
for
what the
that.
science done did to me?
Right.
The science.
Yeah,
like,
we haven't fallen for that one. We used to. All right, so got some questions for y'all about kicks.
Mhm.
Have you ever used a kick in a fight? And you know, I want you all to let me know too. Have you ever used a kick in a fight or self-defense encounter?
I'm gonna say I'll let her speak first. I know you've been in a lot of bar brawls.
I can very easily say no.
I will too say no.
And in a fight, well, in a violent encounter.
I stuck
Yes.
my foot in someone's mouth. Is that okay?
You stuck your foot in somebody's mouth in a fight?
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't really a fight.
You beat
It was
somebody
kind
up.
of sort of.
And then you said that you just
I don't
humiliated
have a lot
him.
of these kinds of incidents in my life. I just want to say
You said, "Here, now
that.
eat my foot." That's some cold.
This
Kiss my
person
Converse?
deserved.
Right.
They deserved it. I'll just say.
They
That. So
deserved
I
to put in
did
their
use
mouth.
my foot. Yes.
Was this a man?
Yes. Well, it wasn't a man. It was. I was in high school.
Well, he's still a man. He was in high school too?
Mhm.
Or was he like third grade or something?
No.
Okay. Wow, dang.
I don't
That's
think that
brutal.
counts as a kick, but it's pretty cool.
It's cool and brutal. I'm
And
kind of scared.
I'm glad I wasn't the guy that got a foot in his mouth.
Now you're going to sit right here.
We're Facebook friends now.
I bet you.
I bet, yeah, he's scared not to
be. You put in a friend request, he got scared.
Right. Don't meet him in person, though. It's like, yeah, I'm waiting to, you know. So I'm thinking about that. Have I ever, and when we get to our theory of kicks, I really don't know. Maybe in the flow of it, I have, but not consciously. No, I wouldn't. You know. Second question: have you ever seen kicks used in a fight or self-defense encounter?
I definitely have.
You have.
Yes.
I have too, but
yeah, it didn't turn out good.
Right. Right. Have you seen?
I don't think so. I've seen like somebody kind of get stomped out before. Is that kind of
No, that's not what that. No, but that's different. Now that I have done some stomping.
Yeah, no. If we talking about stomping, that's different. We ain't talking about stomping. No. There's some stomping going on.
It was a dude who was the man in the neighborhood, is a karate man, right? Mm-hmm. And I think I told y'all about this. And he was messing with this other brother's wife. And the brother came at it. He said, "Do you know who I am?" Whoop, you know, moving his feet. Now we all out there watching this. And he throws a kick, and the dude grabs. No, he missed, and his foot got caught on the damn fence. His jeans got snagged on the fence, and the dude whooped his ass with his leg up there. And the dude just was knocked out. Out his leg up there, stuck on the fence. And we were all,
That's wild. So
wow.
of
course, if that was in the day when we had cell phones and shit, that'd have been on
World Star.
Yes,
the same as my encounter. I'm looking at this dude. Back when I was in high school, they used to have parties at UNCW, the college, and we would go to those parties. So it was a dude from two different neighborhoods. They had they was fighting. They was about to fight. And one dude I knew, you know, took taekwondo, black belt, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So both of them had been drinking, but he wasn't drunk, but both of them had been drinking. So he feeling loose, you know what I'm saying? He like this, and he tries the roundhouse. And this dude, I swear, I do not think to this day the dude that did not kick could really fight. They just jumped a lot of people, but he was by himself. Dude tried to kick him, and he just put his hand up like this and said, boop. And you saw dude hit the ground because his foot was in the air. When he hit, it was a harder impact. It's like, you know, he didn't have anything to brace himself. So as soon as he hit the ground, I'm not gonna lie, people used to get me to reenact how he hit the ground, because I used to, when I told people the way his eyes hit the ground, like, and from there, then he got stomped out. I'm sure. But that one kick messed him up. If he wouldn't have threw that kick, man. So yeah, that's the only time.
I will say I did use a kick once, and these dudes had stolen from a building. Okay, I'll say with it, Salon Bakery. They stole them from Salon Bakery.
I was about to say, you protecting property, Bob.
And yes, this one. And the editor of the Final Call at the time, Brother Wali, had gotten stabbed with a screwdriver by this brother.
Wow.
And so I come around the corner. I'm going into work. I used to work at the Final Call building. I'm going into I see Brother Wali's car up on the sidewalk. Like, what the hell? And so he said, brother, they're around the alley. Sister at the door. So I run around the alley. And I start going to work. Well, the dude that had stabbed Brother Wali, I hit, boom, boom, I take him down, right? Hit him. I thought I knocked him out. He played knocked out until I went to another person. I see him out the corner of my eye getting up, and I'm chasing him. And he goes into his pocket to pull the screwdriver again. And when he goes to it, I did kick him. Boom! Oblique kick right in the spine. And he went into traffic.
Ooh.
He didn't get hit. That'd be too lucky. That'd been beautiful. I just walked on off then. So the car, and it slowed him down. And then I'm on him again because I was right there, and I took him across the street, and then other things happened, and then I'm move on from the story. All right, so now
Spider-Man.
Are we counting knees as kicks? No, knees is a different episode.
Whole different animal.
Because knees are so effective if used properly, and we got to get to it in the episode. That one is we'll do a knee and elbow episode.
Yay! I love knees.
That's our bread and butter. Okay, so now, have you ever been kicked in a fight or self-defense encounter?
I gotta go back. In the 5th grade, I tried to kick Rynell James, and he grabbed my foot and chased me all around the playground the whole recess. So I forgot that happened. I blocked it out my memory. Rynell, that was crazy. I've been kicked one time, and that was because it was my first cousin who lived next door, and I was cracking on we walking off the bus, and all the kids, and I'm just picking on them. And he was like, "You keep up, I'm gonna kick your ass." And I turned around and said, "Kick my ass," and he kicked me right in the ass.
Well, that's a little different.
That's a little different, but no, not real.
You offered yourself up.
Exactly, no real fight.
Yeah, have you ever been kicked in a violent encounter? Yeah, I've never been kicked in a violent.
I would be really angry.
We see you put your foot in their mouth if they try to kick me.
I got into a fight with a dude who was a so-called Taekwondo champion. He never got the kick. And that's how I go.
I got into it with a black belt when I was wrestling in Taekwondo. And yeah, he called me a nigga. The only person that ever called me a nigga that I ever heard out loud. And he didn't get a chance to kick either.
Yeah. Now, sparring, I've been kicked. But usually
not.
But I've been kicked. But he didn't get the kick. I do Taekwondo. I knew you do Taekwondo too. Well, we're going to wrestle today. And that ended all of that. Yeah, wrestling, same thing, that you can't kick once that's done. And kickers, if you say you can kick a person wrestling you, stop. You're in fantasy land.
Yeah.
You're bullshitting. We know it. Even if you don't know it, we know you're bullshitting. And I say pressure test that. Pressure test using your kicks while a person is wrestling you. Actively wrestling you, not your buddy standing there in the wrestling position and he move a little bit and you kick him, or somebody don't know they're talking about wrestling you with their head down like this and you kick them, because that's not somebody who's a wrestler. Okay, so stop it. Not saying that wrestling is the be all end all. I'm talking about wrestling, grappling.
Right.
But boy, it'll put it on you, and for you to get a good kickoff. People say, well, in the first UFC, this dude was running, this sumo wrestler was running in, he got kicked in the mouth and got his teeth knocked out. Yeah. If you're running like that, that's not a setup.
And it's a sport.
You're running, right, and it's a sport. You're running like that, and we're going to get into that in a minute. There's a huge difference between sport. I love combat sports, but there's a huge difference between that and when you're dealing with reality. Okay, defending yourself, protecting yourself, all right?
Elbows are like knives. Not exactly.
Let me see. Okay, pressure tester here. Are you bleeding? I'm sorry, I know they heard it. Are you bleeding? No.
I blame you, the Spider-Man. That's two.
Let me see. I can't squeeze no blood out. See, no, it's not. It's not. I'm not stabbing myself up. Come on, man. All right, so, but I understand elbows can cut you now.
I do understand what you're
saying. They can cut you.
LOL.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said. All right, but all right. You gotta learn how to shoot and sprawl for it to be wrestling.
Shooting and sprawling isn't wrestling.
Yeah, but not in every culture's wrestling.
Right.
Mongolian wrestlers do not sprawl. They shoot, but they don't sprawl.
They don't have to. They got something else.
Just so you know, wisdom scene. They're different. I'm about to come wisdom Sean. Damn, wisdom scene. There's some. Now we sprawl and shoot, yes, but there are some cultures that don't. And I can't be like, I don't want no Mongolian wrestlers put their hand on me. Shit. Up in there, now, all right. So now, and ask yourself those questions. Have you ever used a kick in a fight or self-defense encounter? Have you ever seen kicks used in a fight or self-defense encounter? Have you ever been kicked in a fight or self-defense encounter? Kicks aren't as common as people think because movies make it seem like, it's just kicking all over the place.
Right.
All right. So now we're going to deal with some kicking theories. When you think about kicking, 4 martial arts come to mind majorly. Capoeira, karate, Muay Thai, and it's Muay, Thai, and Taekwondo, because sometimes they say Muay Thai, it's Muay Thai, and Taekwondo. Most martial arts incorporate some kicks, but these arts are the most kick heavy. So we're going to look at their views on kicks. Okay?
Capoeira is an African martial arts that was developed in Brazil. It combines elements of dance, acrobatics, and music, and music, and is sometimes referred to as a game. It was developed in Brazil mainly by West African descendants with native Brazilian influences, probably beginning in the 16th century. Capoeira prefers to use quick and complex moves using power, speed, leverage, momentum, and deception for a wide variety of devastating and unpredictable kicks. On the National Geographic show called Fight Science, where Capoeira, karate, Muay Thai, and Taekwondo measured up their kicks against each other. Capoeira kicks were proven to be the most powerful and the most efficient, meaning that for the amount of velocity that was put into the kick, it generated the most force. I remember that too.
So Capoeira was proven to be the most powerful and the most efficient of the kicks in African martial art. But hey, I digress.
Karate is a martial art developed in the Ryukyu, island in what is now Okinawa, Japan. It developed from the indigenous martial arts of the Ryukyu Islands under the influence of Chinese martial arts, particularly Fujian white crane. Karate is now predominantly a striking art using punching, kicking, knee strikes, elbow strikes, and open hand techniques such as knife hands, spear hands, and palm heel strikes. Karate kicking techniques can be divided into 2 main categories: thrust kicks and snap kicks. A thrust kick brings the leg to an immediate stop on impact, with the target locking the kicking knee into position so that there is no give on impact. A snap kick uses a striking action that recoils as soon as contact is made. This minimizes the contact time, so the shock of the blow cannot be reabsorbed into the body.
So a snap kick, it's when they pop, they hit, bring it back. Thrust kick, boom, it hits and extends.
A lot of times you see those when they do those kicks, when they be pop like that in the air, like that. That's what it is.
Snap kick, pop, you hit, come back. Thrust kick, and It could be the same kick, but one could snap or it could be a thrust kick.
Karate teaches that in most self-defense situations, it is better to try to keep kicking techniques simple and direct, thus allowing the karate practitioner to be more versatile in self-defense. Less is more, they say.
Yeah, I've heard that before. So people, they use the thing about children playing in the front yard. There's no fence. They playing with the ball. They're not going to be as comfortable as at play because they're watching out for cars coming.
Right.
But you put a fence around it. Now they're more comfortable playing with the ball. So it's that simple, that fence you don't use just open and they can just do whatever, right? There's a science to that. Okay, cool. Okay, the fence is in front and the children are playing. But car comes to hit that fence. And those children don't realize that they can run over here because they've been fenced in. Those children get killed. So, yes, the fence is simple and it can make you you have less to think about.
Right.
Okay. The African martial arts are simple, but free form. So you can pull on these different things. There are ways that we're taught where we can, I know like a kuka is the chicken wing lock. I can hit that from 50, at least different ways. And it's probably more ways than that. That's the 50 I've thought about how to do it. Okay. So, and one way we've been working in class, right. You know what I mean? That, and they've seen me do it many other ways. Okay. So that's how we think. You have the children play with the ball, and those children, you don't let the children outside if they ain't got enough sense to not run when they see or step back when they see the cars coming.
Right.
And if the ball rolls out there, you don't go for the ball because you're more important than the ball. Well, that's how you should raise your children in life. You can't fence them in as they move around in life. And you'll find that out. You got to let them be free enough where they can move. I've said before, I let my son walk to school by himself. He thought I'm watching, watching up from my house, and then I'd move up the block, hiding behind bushes and watching them to make sure he's safe. But he has to know, okay, I can walk on my own. And so, that's the way we look at martial arts.
I think of it.
Be free.
I think of it like this, bro.
Common sense.
I was growing up in the country. I used to go to my cousin's house that stayed in town. And we'd still be playing the same games with basketballs, with baseball, tennis balls and stuff. But because I was from the country, it wasn't I was playing in the grass and a bunch of land. So we out there right by the street. So they always played like that. So when the ball went out in the street, like I was hesitant. You know what I'm saying? But they knew how to go out, get the ball, go back, or let the ball go, let the car pass. And it took me a long time before I got comfortable because I hadn't been, in that situation. So you got to sometimes, open your child up to the experience so they can be able to react when they get into it.
And yourself up.
Exactly.
Open yourself up to things. And if you're doing a particular martial art, open yourself up to others.
Right.
Because I tell you,
pray for your
the first time I sparred a person who did capoeira. We both do African martial arts, but very different theories on how we move and everything.
Yeah, which speaks to Spider-Man's question.
And it threw me. The first time I sparred with a person who did capoeira, I'm like, what the hell? They all over the place, and what how do I deal with this? Simple ways to deal with it. Like anything else, but I didn't see those simple ways because I'm just amazed at the way they moving.
Right.
Oh boy, I'd seen it, but now I'm in there sparring with somebody doing it. Oh, and they all over the place, and I'm thinking they're about to kick here and they kicking there. It was beautiful.
Right.
I got that ass. I figured it out, but hey, it was beautiful. Let me see. Somebody said, Does African martial arts, as you teach them, share any features from capoeira? Absolutely. One, but we don't do acrobatics and things like that. One thing we're going to do one episode. I want to do that soon too.
Okay.
Let's bring a couple of capoeira people on.
We know
maybe Shango Dare. I would love to have the Mind Stiff on here if I could. A couple people, yeah, we know several capoeira folks. Oh, your brother. I mean, we know several folks.
Teaching them right now.
But I created this thing called the One Root Project to show African martial arts really have one root. African martial arts, indigenous martial arts, period. That's why we're going to do this conference called Warrior Class. I mean, not Warrior, goodness gracious. Warrior Con.
Right, exactly.
To show that the indigenous martial arts have strong similarities if you know what you're looking at. Number one, the human body can only move so many ways.
I was going to speak to that.
And so since
our simplicity,
right, so it can only move so many ways, and the indigenous person figured out, well, we move the most efficient, simple ways. Okay, so everybody got that sense, so everybody gonna move the same way. And you say, well, the Chinese are indigenous to China. They do. No, I'm not talking about them. When I'm talking about indigenous folks, I'm talking about folks. I am talking about indigenous Southeast Asians, South Americans, us from the Caribbean, us from the continent of Africa. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? Even from Hawaii, that's I'm not talking. The East Asian martial arts have been given to us so long and marketed so strongly that people have taken that. You have many people teach it real, but there are many who have bastardized those arts.
Yes.
Like, say, people will be kicking low, boom, with a round kick, boom, right? And they hear, boom. You assume that's Muay Thai. That's Muay Thai. Boom, they're kicking. Muay Thai does not aim to kick to the legs in their sport. Muay Thai is a sport. Okay. Maybe Muay Baran does. I'm not sure, but Muay Thai is the sport that comes from the combat art, military art, Muay Baran. But in Muay Thai, they seek to hit you in your ribs, your head with a round kick.
Right. And
part of their scoring is on balance. So if you kick low, that's easy to stay balanced. But if I kick you in your ribs and stay balanced, so even if you check a kick, when you lift your knee, when they kick, you check a kick to block it. If you fall off balance, they consider you didn't block that kick. You don't get points for that because you fell off balance. Control is number one with them. So you got to have to control too. So people don't know that. They took Muay Thai, they took a conference, or maybe they took classes, but really didn't understand because it's knowledge, wisdom, then understanding, right? And so then they just said, hey, we're going to kick low. So that's why you see in MMA, they say they're using Muay Thai, but they kick into the legs. But I will say Anderson Silva rarely kicked to the legs. But when he did, he got his shit broke. And we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. About kicks and breaking people's legs. Can you break a leg with a kick? And we'll deal with that in just a second. I'm sorry. So go ahead. That needs to be said.
Right, especially when we're about to talk about Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a combat sport of Thailand that comes from Muay Baran, the Thai war art. It is known as the art of 8 limbs because it is characterized by the combined use of fists, elbows, knees,
3,
and shins.
4, 5, 6, my knees, 7, 8, my shins.
Here we go. The 2 most common kicks in Muay Thai are known as the foot jab, that's a front thrust kick, and the roundhouse kick, which is normally thrown to the ribs, torso, or head. Traditionally,
it's funny, their kick, our thrust kick is called tipa. Theirs is called cheap.
Oh, okay. Is this what that is? THA? That's this.
No, theirs is called cheap. So the foot jab, that's the English thing, but I think they say T, but they're spelled THIP, I think.
Okay.
Teep, maybe.
Traditionally,
They do the foot jab and the roundhouse kick.
okay. Traditionally, they prefer kicks above the waist to low-lying kicks. Muay Thai practitioners are trained to always connect with the shin, not the foot, except with the foot jab. The foot contains many fine bones and is much weaker. A fighter may end up hurting themselves if they try to strike with their foot or instep. Shins are trained by repeatedly striking firm objects such as pads or heavy bags.
Not kicking trees like you see in the movies.
It looks good, though.
It looks good.
Trees.
All right. Now, Taekwondo. Taekwondo is a Korean martial art, which is
Let me say something real quick. Her uncle was Taekwondo master, so she, she was the Taekwondo queen of Chicago back in the day. All right.
No comment. Taekwondo is a Korean martial art, which is about 80% kicks and 20% hand techniques. Taekwondo was developed during the 1940s and 1950s by various Korean martial artists as a blend of the indigenous Korean fighting styles of Taekyon, Gwanbiak, and Subak, which...
Wait a minute, you mean to tell me Taekwondo is not ancient?
That's a good point. I didn't
Karate's not ancient, right?
1940s and 50s. Karate from like the 1600s or something.
That ain't ancient.
That's not ancient.
America's from the 60s.
It's old as hell, though. But yeah.
With influence from foreign martial arts such as karate and Chinese martial arts. Taekwondo emphasizes speed and agility, believing that the power of a strike comes from its speed, not mass. So they don't do deep chambers of their kicks like karate, and do not kick all the way through like Muay Thai. Taekwondo prefers to use kicks above the waist.
Now, the indigenous theory on kicks, the way indigenous, I'm talking about indigenous Africans at this point, okay? Kicks are aimed no higher than the hips. Okay. Strikes are done with the heel, shin, and ball of the foot. Never the instep, like who was it said it was a Taekwondo, the small bone, or it was Muay Thai, I believe. The small bones are too, they can get broken. So it's always with the shin, the heel, or the ball of the foot. And watch, even with capoeira, how they move. They're kicking with the shin, heel, or ball of the foot. Kicks are incidental for us. They happen in the flow only. So there's no, I'm here, boom, I just kick. Because that is dominant or better than throwing a punch or grappling or something. It don't happen that way. It happens in the middle, usually in grappling. We grappling, we close, boom, I hit you with a kick, then I give you something else, okay? So for us, it's incidental, or in the midst of the flow, boom, bang, bang, boom, I'm bringing your head down, and instead of a knee, because your head's out there, I throw a kick and hit you in the face with my shin.
Yeah, it's not like you think I'm about to.
Right, right, exactly. Right, we don't do that.
Set up to.
Right. And then kicks are setups for finishing techniques, not finishing techniques themselves. We never look at that way. And we're about to get up because I'm about to talk on it. Breaking somebody's knee.
He's not going to break my knee.
To kick somebody in the leg, and we're about to deal with that. Because people say, I talked about those just folk. I'll just kick him in the knee. I'll just kick him in the nuts. I just shut up, because you don't know what you're talking about. Those just folks, they're lying, they're bullshitting, or they're ignorant. They're lying, they're bullshitting, or they're ignorant.
It very well could be all three.
And it could be all three. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna get up and
to answer your question, Melanin Rich, Nate.
I know the topic, mother, but
Would you recommend giving a 14-year-old mace and a knife with proper training and instructions, of course, for protection, preparation, just in case?
Okay, now 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Mace, hell no, because mace is old shit that came from comic books and back of comics, and people don't use that no more. No, that's very dangerous. That's low grade nerve gas. So no.
What about like a gel pepper spray?
Pepper spray is oleocapsicum. That's not mace. So, and I just want to educate on that because people get confused. They call it all mace.
Glad they asked that question because that's good to clear that up.
Right. So mace, a lot of places this is illegal.
Oh, wow.
Because it's so damaging. Okay. But to the environment, to yourself, use on a person, the wind blowing to yourself, it's damaging. Pepper spray can hurt you. It's not damaging to your internal organs. Mace is. So we don't mess with mace. I don't recommend it. Oleocapsicum, pepper spray. That is what you should get. Okay. And you can get that in gel. You can get it in foam. Those are better than just the mist because the wind will blow that back in your face. But the gel and the foam, it won't blow. Foam is better.
Okay.
And hit them with the foam and they burn it. I don't know about your state if it's legal for a 14-year-old to have that, but it is. If you're asking about them, you said you don't care. Hey, now the knife, yes, with proper training. And with the pepper spray, you should have proper training with that too. Yes.
We just got out of the knife phase in class not too long ago.
Yeah, they should have a knife. My son, when he was 13, he had a knife.
My daughter had a knife when she was 13. She didn't like to have it, but she knew how to use it.
Right. It's important. It's important. And if you're worried about a knife or maybe you're going to school, get in trouble, get him a pocket sharp. Yeah. It looks like it is a marker, but it's made of this hard polymer, so you can use that to defend yourself with. And we've dealt with that on some videos, and we may get back to actually tools for children. That's a good. Maybe we should do that in the next
that's a
phase.
Too.
Yeah, that's a good book. Right.
Definitely a workshop.
Yeah, for sure. So, you're in Chicago? No, it's not illegal. That I definitely know. So it's not legal to have you to get them a pocket shark.
And she said she does have the pepper spray. She just used the wrong term.
Oh, okay. All right. So a lot of people will call it still mace. Yeah, pepper spray.
And if you do get a pocket shark, whatever you get for you or your child, make sure that you train not just using it, but again, deploying it. Yeah. Deployment. That's the key.
And deploying it is out and ready to be used. Okay. And we will do that because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what should I give my children or whatever. So yeah, I was there for the night class. Oh, okay, great. So you saw us cutting the meat and doing all that stuff. But yes, so when I now, mind you, I'm from Chicago and I learned from my father in Chicago with the knife,
there you go,
with the stick, I learned the gun too, but certain things you have to learn and you know how to move with it.
Yeah, wrong.
Instead of carrying a knife when I was young, I carried a marker and I carried a whole bunch of keys.
Oh, okay.
And not putting the keys between my fists like that either. Okay. So we're about to get to when I said kicks are setups for finishing techniques, not finishing techniques. All my kickers on here, you may disagree. You do you, but I'm talking to people who are not folks that just been kicking for 100 years and feel they can just, break concrete. And you say, if you could break a brother said one time I was in this demo thing and he said, if you could break a board, you can break a bone. And so he broke 5 boards. And people, says you could break a bone. I said, can you bring out these 2 bricks, please? and I broke the bricks with a palm. Boom, right? I said, now, would anybody like to stand here and hit? Nobody. I said to one of my students, come over here. Boom! I hit his hand with my palm, and it didn't break his arm. Just because you can break a brick, concrete, bone, board, or whatever, doesn't mean you can break bone. When you walk up the stairs, you're talking millions of pounds of pressure. So now your body can't hold up what a building can, right? You don't have that strength of a building, but the structure against strikes is different. Bone is different. Now, if somebody just stands here and holds their arm out and you hit there with your fist, maybe you'll break their bone. But in the midst of combat and their hand is moving, you're not breaking their bone like that.
Gonna stand there.
There are ways to break the bone, and it's easier to dislocate a joint than break a bone, to be honest. You can now. With a tool, I've broken bone, yeah, with a tool. Yeah, broken bone. But never, I've hit people, boom, and they be hurt. They be hurt. But there's muscle to support this bone. This little team muscle, but it's still protecting that bone. All right, so now, when we talked about can kicks break the leg, is it a finisher? Now, you may say kicking to the head is a finisher and stuff like that. We certainly don't recommend kicking high like that because we deal with tools. If he was to kick me at all, he's going to catch a tool. But you have a practice knife? I can use a real knife on your leg, but
I don't have any practice knife.
Oh, I have to use a real knife on your leg then. It's cool.
I got something in the sheath. How about that?
No, I won't use a sheath. I want to use a real blade.
Let's use
So now, do not try this at home, folks.
I trust him.
Even in the sheath. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So if he lifts his leg to kick me, he's gonna catch it in his femoral artery. Your femoral artery goes from your right below your groin to 4 fingers above your ankle. That's a lot to cut. Especially if you're trying to cut me high, I just go here, you're kicking up here, I move off, boom, cut. You're cut in your femoral artery. You say, well, I kicked that knife. I kicked so hard the knife will come out your hand. Yeah, okay, cool. I love that. For you to kick so hard, you hit this blade and it knocks it out of my hand. I mean, it embedded in your leg before you kick it out of my hand. So you are now leaking. And it wouldn't matter what you punch me or whatever after that. I throw a kick, then I throw the wang punch. Okay, the wang punch hit me in the jaw, broke my jaw, and you're still leaking.
Right.
You're dying. You'd best stop trying to punch me and try to limp your ass to the hospital.
25% of your delivery system is inoperable.
Right. And if I hit you again, well, and not just 25% of your delivery, but half of your mobility system is gone. And if the other one gets hit, you're not going nowhere. We're talking about stomping people out. Yeah, now that's going to be your reality. So now,
if you also, I was going to say, if your leg is bleeding and you still have to walk on it and use it,
right, more bleeding,
right, then you're going to bleed even
That's
more.
why it's beautiful to have a knife. When Melon asked, now it's beautiful to have one.
Yes, sir.
Because once you get them leaking in the femoral artery, it's bad for them. Okay. Or if you're leaking in your femoral artery, it's bad for you. People always, what do you do if your femoral artery gets cut and then they cut the other one? I said, pray. You're not going to make it, probably, if both your femoral arteries, and it's not hard to cut them. Now, breaking the leg.
Shift the camera for this. It's going to be low.
Breaking his leg. Now, he's brave. He also knows I'm not going to be able to break his leg. Switch to that thing. See it better.
Yep.
Yeah. So, let's say I was to kick his leg. Boom. It may bend or whatever. Or I hit his leg. Boom. Right. Now, move like you know, moving in combat. Move like you're moving. That's not his leg didn't even straighten out that time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to break. You know what it would take to break a leg with a kick? To be honest with you, one, this has a whole lot of muscle. Now, I know of a man who broke this brother, who broke this old asshole cracker, Dennis Alexio, both his thighs with one kick.
Wow.
That's odd. That doesn't happen. I'm not saying you can't break a leg. Your chances of breaking somebody's leg is about equal to you winning the big number lottery game. The big, what do they call it? Big
Mega Million.
Mega Million.
Powerball.
Yeah, well, either one. Or even 3 numbers.
Okay.
It ain't no shit. You got a better chance of winning 3 numbers than break somebody's leg. So to break somebody's leg, this is what it would take. Keep this foot right. Keep that foot right there. Step that foot way back. Lean back and let that be straight right there. Keep your weight on that. It has to be right there, and I go right here. And I put all my weight. That's what it would take. Or you said, "Well, I saw in football they broke somebody's leg." Yeah, that's all they weight.
Exactly.
Falling
with pads and a helmet and all that.
Right, because if I drop my weight towards it, I'm gonna eat a knee.
Yep.
So it takes a lot to break those bones. Those bones go upstairs. They leap over fences. Those bones jump out of airplanes and land and don't break.
They run from Chinese police.
They run from the Chinese police. Those bones do a lot, and they do not break. You're not going to break. You say, well, you know, they're trying to ban it in MMA, that kick. One, you're not John Bones Jones. That's one. Two, who's powerful as shit, great kicker. Two, they're not banning it because it'll break the leg. They're banning it because over time, you're in a fight, getting your leg jammed over time is tearing away at your ligaments.
Definitely.
So it's doing damage to you over time doing that.
Fights don't last 3 minutes each round, 4 rounds, 5 rounds.
Right.
You know
Fights last seconds. Also, you all, so you know, when you if you look up, and you can do this on your own, you know, if you look up fights, a person's leg broken by a kick, person's leg broken by a kick, you know what's going to show you? You're not going to find a person like I break his leg with my kick. You're going to find the kicker's leg broken from doing the kick. It's not going to be, you're not going to see videos of this dude getting kicked and getting his leg broken. You're going to see this dude doing the kick and getting his leg broken.
It's almost like the theory of hitting bone with bone, like we punching in the face or punching it hard.
Well, what happens is I'm striking with so much force. And if you see how he just instinctively bends his knee.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize I did that too.
Because this part of the shin right here is devastatingly damaging to the shin if I kick.
And that's how
so when we try to kick, we want the force to be at the end of our shin, close to our ankle. That's the thinnest part. So when I kick and you just bend forward like that even, and I catch that, woo, on that big part, he ain't hurt, I am. I'm like, oh my God. So now I can try to kick him in his thigh, but that's a bunch of muscle. That will hurt now.
Right.
But it's not going to break his leg. It's not a fight finisher. It will set up things. Okay. Now, a better kick that we're going to teach is the oblique kick. Because you see the round kick all the time. But even with the oblique kick, that tears at the ligament, it does not break the knee.
Right.
Okay. And that's the one that John Bones Jones uses. Okay. That's the kick that we mainly use too. That and a side kick is still using your foot. So when you kick, do not kick with a straight foot. It can slide off. I can miss.
You notice he keep grabbing my hands. It's natural because that's my defense. How he keep doing like this to bring it down. That's just what he's just trained to do.
And it's better to throw a kick from grappling.
Right.
Okay. So let's say he punches at me 2 hooks. I catch. So I caught the hooks. Throw again. Catch them in his bicep. Catch. I'm catching them with my hands in a C position. Like this. Don't have your thumbs out. You don't want your thumbs dislocated. Boom. I'm here. And now I don't want to just do the kick here. See, he's bent there, so it'd be hard to get that kick. So I move him. And now look at his leg. And then I catch him with that one. I can hit that one too. Then I can hit that one. Okay, so the way I do that is my hip comes up, my power comes from the hip, and then I kick out with my heel. My foot is turned out sideways, so it's more surface area to hit him with, because I don't want to slip off or miss, right? So it's normally done from grappling. Here, right, and then I move him. His energy's going that way, so I can move him that way too. Once I get him that way, boom, I can hit him. I hit that leg, boom, I can hit it again. And now I can go into other things. It's a setup. Okay. If he's far from me, and people say, well, I do this, he comes, and I say, boom, thrust kick, come at me, and he can knock me off balance. That's not when you do that kick. He's coming at me, period. I'm coming off the line. Now, when I'm off the line, I would throw a knee. When we talked about knees, but I could throw a kick now, boom, to the back there, and it can bring him off balance, and then I'm throwing other things. Okay, that's what the kick is for. So I'm gonna let you all get together and just throw the punches at her. Shot. You catch him. Move him, feed him that kick, boom. It could be the one in the front, boom, then the one in the rear. And then you got him now. Bang, 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 right? He's set up for things. Because a man, you don't want to be a sister, you don't want to be in here with no dude just scrapping. So you could use that, bang, right? You okay?
Yeah.
Bang. Those kicks, bang, right?
Yeah.
Bang. So use that oblique kick. Oblique, it comes from the rear or it comes from the front, depending on what you want to do. Okay. You hit to the right above the knee. If you can. If you can't, you can hit the shin. Don't scrape down though. That's not doing nothing. That's just a little pain compliant. Right. You want them off balance. You really want to off balance them. So now you can crack them with something else. Okay? Y'all get together and
Turn me down a little bit so you can see. All right.
now let me go. I'm glad you said that. I try not to kick you with my boots. Your boots, gym shoes, it really don't matter because I'm gonna get the same effect. Unless your boots got blades in the heel. Otherwise, it don't change. And they say, well, that's why in karate we use our barefoot. No. Your barefoot is not like those boots.
And you ain't walking around outside barefoot.
Unless you really cut it. I'm more water. And I'm with bare feet. Now that would be crazy as a mother. I'm sorry for doing that. And I just talked about people talking about country clothes.
Well, you get picked at, you walk around barefoot.
Yes, you are. And that's my idea of a country white man anyway.
Hillbilly. All right, so I'm hooking.
I'm supposed to catch it.
Yeah, catch it. You can cover the end catch too. Right, and then bang.
Oh no. That's it.
Oblique kick. Yep. Bang. Bang. Right, there you go. And then when he's open up like that, don't do it. But once his legs are open like that too, then now you can drive your shin up. So you can just drive your shin straight up. No fancy kick.
Yeah,
you don't have to chamber. And just boom right up into the groin. Yep.
Trying not to hurt me with them boots. All right.
I see what you mean now because the boots got a heel.
Right. Woo.
I'm gonna have to stop and give you some boots just like this. Get more of that heel, boy. Sure.
I don't think it would feel good.
I don't think it would look good either on me. I actually would end up fighting them.
And now actually, oh, let's see.
You coming close with that middle kick. Okay.
And let's say if
I'm just saying, you set up for me.
if he had grabbed you some kind of way, right? He grabs, you grab like this. You grab. And you're like, damn, I can't use my hands. You can't use your feet. And that's when it's good to use your feet. And then boom, right up to the groin.
Some distance.
Right. And that's what the kick is at. You're creating distance to set up power for another strike. Okay. And even then, after hitting the groin, give them something else. Don't assume that finished them. Okay. Because then I could ask those questions too. Have you ever seen anybody finished from a kick to the groin?
Outside of a movie.
Right.
That's how they finish all the fights.
Right.
Roundhouse.
But you know, usually when that happens, it's a kind of like a comedic thing. Whoa, and the guy falls.
Unless you got the Jean-Claude kick where you do the split.
The split and then punch to the groin, right? Hits to the groin can hurt you now. They can drop you. But finish you, if you think you just kick dude in the groin, then you stand there, he's finished, and he can't get back up, you have another think coming. All right? All right. One more time.
Oh, you want me to do it to you?
No. I was just saying. Yeah. All right.
Keep your balance. Yep.
Oh. Okay. Happy with it. I guess I was down there for it.
Right.
Could have choked me out
Yeah,
right
usually.
there.
Set up your knees.
She could have choked.
Lower.
The knees came. I mean, the choke don't come, it doesn't come. The
Right.
knees, you just want to just work the knees on them. Then from the knees, bang, bang, boom, you can go to a kick again, keep them off balance, bang, bang, just keep working, okay? So the knees, the kicks are good for that. Remember we said we don't kick above the hip wells because anything above that, you're risking balance, but you're also risking getting cut. Even at the hip wells, you're risking getting cut in your femoral artery.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful, but if you're kicking high, you're really risking that. And if you're being unrealistic or just saying any old thing, I'm going to kick it out of his hand. I ask once again, because we got to learn to ask questions. Have you ever kicked a live blade out of somebody's hand? Have you? Have you? Okay. Say, well, now I won't kick the blade, I'll kick their wrist. I'm cutting like this, and you're going to hit my wrist. Really? Have you ever kicked? Have you ever kicked or have you ever seen anybody kick a live blade out of somebody's hand? And then we can go further. Have you ever seen somebody kick a live blade out of a trained person's hand?
Right. I was going to say something about that because there may be people watching who do some of those arts that we talked about. And why should you be thinking about whether or not someone might cut you in the femoral artery? We train for trained people. We don't train for the sucker. That's what Baba calls it, training for the sucker. You train as though the person who is your opponent has been trained. So you don't want to be thinking about it like, oh, well, I'll just go out here and kick, whoever you come in contact with.
Right.
You're going to come up on the person who has training, who knows exactly what to do when they see what you're doing.
Another thing too that I would think one of the reasons why you would want to be really cautious about kicking above the hips is the fact that the way she moved me, my legs had to plant for a second, right? So I had, like, when she moved me around, I had to catch my step. That's when she can hit the knee, right? Well, you want to bring him over here, bro?
Yeah, his uncle got a little drunk during the show, so we'll just use him as an example of what you do.
This is Dan. This is Dan Whiteman right here.
And Cody's brother. Now,
What I was
sorry. Go ahead.
What I was gonna say is when they just set me up for those kicks, they move me. I had to plant. Then my leg is susceptible, right? But if you're trying to kick up here, even if you move me, I can just turn. I can still turn.
And what? But you ain't even think you got these.
Right. That's a part of the turn. And so it just makes it more difficult to reach. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't suggest that at all.
Now, several times he was talking about stomping folks. Now, I'm gonna be nice to Dan because Dan looks still nice and white right there. But nice and white.
Excuse me, family.
Now, I'm just gonna pull the microphone.
I got you. Here we go.
All right. So now,
you get a better vantage point.
If you're stomping with, we say stomp with the heel, and it's times to do these things, right? The heel, the shin, or the ball of foot. When you stomp, do not use the ball of your foot like that. That's why when the roaches in your house and you try to stomp them, they're not dying because you're using the ball of your foot like this. There ain't no power. You got to kill the roach with the heel.
I'm telling you.
Same way when you stomp somebody, it's your heel. That's where the power comes down, through your heel. That's different from if I'm stomping with the ball of my foot. You don't even hear that.
Right. You ain't put no.
It's the heel where you get the power. So you stomp somebody out, it's your heel, y'all. Okay? And that's the same energy that you use when you're using that oblique kick.
Yeah.
It's like a stomp.
It's to do this just like he said, if you don't kick with the toe, when somebody on the ground, this is what you'll see. This right here.
Right. That's not.
I got jumped in high school. Let me tell you. When I got jumped, everybody was kicking like this. I ain't feeling nothing. I got right back up.
Right. Now, if they had have been, this is hand, they had with their heel,
it would have been over.
Your hand would have been jacked. This is your hand.
I catch you, I'm coming like
right.
You know,
right. Drive, heel. If you want to kick to the side, heel.
Right.
Heel to the side. Right. Bring, and not just from your knee. Bring your hip back, because this one is that way, right? Bring your hip back and slam that mug forward. Boom.
Exactly.
To hit that, if you're going to use your heel. Okay. To the groin. This, no.
Because the ground is taking some of that friction, or
right. and even just doing like that, it's not enough power. You don't use your toe there. Now you use boom. When they're standing, you use your shin, and when they're on the ground, your heel. Even if you're on the ground, laying down in the opposite direction of them,
right?
It's your heel.
You've seen him do that when we did that exercise.
So thank you, Dan. Dan, his name Dan is on there too. Dan Whiteman, he wears the D. It's like Superman. Dan.
Super Dan.
Dan Whiteman.
Isn't Dan like a term they use in martial arts? He's a
fifth Dan.
Don, okay.
Yeah. D-A-N-I sound. So Don, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for bearing with us, family, with the, we try to give you the best vantage point that you can get.
Yeah.
Without,
Dan looking pretty bad there.
With the equipment that we have.
Dan's other arm looking who?
I ain't stuck his other arm yet. Yeah. Dan just came yesterday.
Right.
Dan looking pretty bad. Now, Dan has a target right there. And if you knock your opponent down, well, that's all I say. It's a target right there.
Yeah.
That's all I say. All right, so remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for rocking with us at this time.
Any ideas, questions, or concerns, hit them in the box, send it to us. You got ideas for a show? You want to invite us to your city? Workshops?
Definitely.
Let us know.
We'll be there. So thank you all for rocking with us. Love you all. Stay black. Whatever it is that you may be. Peace.
Peace. I'm glad we got to answer